On July 6 of 2024 at the Seekonk Speedway, these Demolition Derby drivers are putting their all into winning the race in order to win $10,000.
Can you imagine a couple of Demolition Derby drivers crashing into each other intentionally just to win $10,000? How quaint! Perhaps someday I ought to join in on the Demolition Derby course, but that complexity would be too much for a rabbit, now wouldn't it?
Huh?
Things were sailing rather smoothly. That is, until...
Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Willikers, that was a close call. Yeah, what silly things these drivers are. There might have been an injury or something.
Well, it could be worse. It could be just as painful in 3D.
Huh. Funny how all that works out in the end. I mean, you have a driver who's daring to catch up to finish the race, and then just like that, he ends up losing his tire, which has come loose, and ends up crashing into a wall right beneath the audience's feet. I know, dude. I mean, was the Tasmanian Devil driving the car?
Was it?
The driver suffers no injuries, and the race continues as if nothing happened.
Thank goodness that I never enter into that derby, for my name would have been Crash McDecimator. And it's not.
Was it?
Pardon us, our one and only queen, but we seem to have spotted a couple of earth creatures.
Interesting. This can only mean one thing.
Boys! My!
What do you want to watch on television, Mr. Tiger?
No idea, Blueberry Hair. Although a Western movie with Yosemite Sam could be interesting.
How do you do? Oh, well, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Coyote, Wile-E Coyote, super genius. I believe that's the scientific term, if you will. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wiley, how come these footprints look a tad bit odd compared to a certain roadrunner? Well, to answer your question, there is a rare wild duck hidden somewhere in the areas, and I must embark on my journey to capture and consume him for my supper. Yes, sirree, I am persuaded to hunt, capture, and eat this duck. It's as logical as that.
Say, Bubby, were you following me? Why, I'm disgusted. Why, I'm disgusted. Why, the very next time you're in complete violation of my privacy, you'll be hearing it from my lawyers.
Oh, well then. Even a screwball fowl would be able to give such a super genius an off day. Now let me think. This here is no ordinary wild duck I've seen beforehand. Therefore, I must think of a less complicated plan to catch him.
Well, why not make believe that it's duck season? That'll catch the little pest.
Nah, that's too obvious even for a chicken-brained hunter. I think I have an idea.
You have?
Yes, now listen, you know what a sucker he is for quality baked goods. So naturally, I bake an entire loaf of bread filled to the brim with dynamite.
Yes?
Then once he takes a bite,
Go on.
he blows up.
You ain't just whistling Dixie!
Yes? What do you want?
Well, sir, I have come to give myself up on the grounds that I can no longer fight against a super genius. Not only that, but I have one last request. I have just made out my last will and testament, but I'm gonna need a witness to make it official. Will you sign it with this?
A wise decision, my boy. You have just saved yourself from a fate worse than the frying pan.
Why would you look at this? Very amateurish attempt on my person. Being a super genius can certainly have his advantages.
Full on! What a dope!
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mud.
Well, folks, best keep in mind, mud spelled backwards is dumb.